Commission and expressed concern over low turnout of voters at local government elections that took place on Saturday. Plus, on the news, Court of Appeal dismissed petition filed by Labour Party challenging the emergence of Governor Diri as governor of Bayelsa State. From the international scene, presidents and prime ministers across the world expressed support for former United States President Donald Trump and spoke out against political violence following an assassination attempt. Details of those and more coming your way shortly. Do stay with us. Many thanks for joining us at this time. Now, details of the news. The Adamawa State Chairman, Adamawa State Independent Electoral Commission, Mohammed Umar, has expressed concern over low turnout of voters at local government elections conducted in the state on Saturday. The chairman expressed concern shortly after inspecting some polling units in Yola South and Yola North local government. He, however, expressed satisfaction with the peaceful conduct of elections. Despite the low turnout in some areas, he said he was satisfied with the exercise. Some other electorate also expressed their divergent opinion about the exercise while awaiting the announcement of the winners.
Because of the late starting of the election, the turnout was very low. But you should bear in mind that this rainy season, some people they don't care about the election, they prefer to go to their farms. More so in local government election, there is this notion. People have the notion that even if they vote, the party in power is going to win. We try to sensitize them on this to show them that this time around we are going to do something differently. And you still see the impact on them.
Now, to see for myself what is happening, and every area appears to be normal, and they came on time. That's the officials of the ARSEC, and the people are casting their vote freely without any hitch, and looking forward to victory. Yes.
This is going on very well. You can see the outcome of people. People have turned out to come and participate in this local government election. For me, I'm so impressed with the turnout of everyone. You can see it's a local government election, but the area is looking like a general election. You can see everybody is happy.
As my vote for the chairmanship election, and so far so good. The process is smooth. Everyone please come out and vote. It only takes a few minutes. We cast the vote, go back home, and wait for the results.
The election is peacefully and calm. Though there is a low turnout, but people are still coming out. So the election is okay.
For now, I see nothing like manipulative or anything, but we hopefully, if the election will be like this, we hope good will come.
And to other stories, the Court of Appeal has dismissed petition filed by Labour Party and its governorship candidate Udemu Bofa Iradere challenging the emergence of Governor Diri of People's Democratic Party as governor of Bayelsa State. The three-man panel held at the tribunal was right in dismissing the Labour Party's petition for lacking in merit. Correspondent Koleojo reports that the court held that Iradere and his party failed to prove allegations of non-qualifications and certificate forgery against Governor Diri and his deputy as contained in their petition. The court also held that the tribunal was right when it held that the appellant's petition was abandoned, having not been signed by either the petitioners or their counsel as required by law. The court noted that attachment of alleged forged documents to Form ECH submitted to INEC by the third respondent is a pre-election matter which should not have been brought to the tribunal. The panel, however, awarded the cost of 200,000 naira against the appellant in favor of each of the respondents in the appeal. In the same vein, the appellate court also dismissed an appeal brought before it by governorship candidate of the New Nigerian People Party, Mike Akims, also challenging Governor Diri's emergence as governor.
We're quite confident because actually what the Court of Appeal did today is basically what we've known as a team, because the law is clear, and that's what we put forward to the Court of Appeal in both appeals. And as it is, the courts agreed with us on almost all the points that we raised with respect to their case being one of pre-election, with respect to whether they failed to prove their case. And I think that's if they decide to go forward to the Supreme Court, I think that's what we should expect as well.
Yeah, well, it's not surprising. Not surprising because he has been cleared severally. This is not the first time. It's just that in this case, the appellants were quite, they were excited, overexcited. And then they tried to litigate what has been resolved by the court since 2020, up till the Supreme Court. The NYC had always confirmed that there was no case of certificate forgery. They corrected the error on the certificate themselves.
This morning, the Court of Appeal delivered judgment with respect to the appeals filed by Udeng Saradiri of the Labour Party and Mike Akims, challenging the decision of the Election Tribunal that dismissed their petition and affirmed the election of the Governor Deridiri and Deputy Governor Lawrence Evijakbo as winners of the election and qualified candidates.
Now to security-related matters. The Ogun State Police Command has arrested 2 suspected kidnappers allegedly responsible for many kidnaps and killings in Ijebu-Igbo and its environs in Ijebu North local government area of the state, while 5 other members of the gang is still at large. The 7-man kidnap gang, according to the State Commissioner of Police, Abiodun Alamtu, were responsible for the kidnap and eventual killing of a 71-year-old and another 37-year-old man and buried them in shallow graves at 2 different locations. The report. Leading men, officers and health officials to the bushes where their victims were buried in shallow graves, the Commissioner of Police assured residents that the long arms of the law would catch up with the fleeing gang members. To these unsuspecting residents of Akodo, a remote area in Ijebu North local government, this road will pass for just a road leading to farms in the locality. But recent discovery has proved otherwise, as kidnappers carried out their nefarious activities deep down this forest. The walk seemed long and unending as the Ogun State Commissioner of Police Abiodun Alamutu led men, officers, family members and health officials into the bush where a 71-year-old man and another 37-year-old victim of the 7-man kidnap gang, after collecting the sum of 10 million and 9 million naira respectively from families of the victims, after which they were killed and buried in 2 different shallow graves at different locations in the town. In handcuffs, the 2 suspects, Monday Igwe, 41, father of 3, and Chukuma Bartholomew, 40, father of 2 respectively, and members of a 7-man gang, led the police to the forest where bodies of the victims were exhumed. They confessed to the commission of the crime, but said other 5 members, now at large, enlisted them into the kidnap business.
2023 and 23rd of November 2023, and the last one was on 31st, precisely Christmas Eve of 2023. We recorded 3 cases of kidnapping that have a familiar pattern, and we have been on this for quite some time until we got a breakthrough recently. These 2 suspects have confirmed being the culprits, while their other partners are presently on the run. They are here to lead us to the shallow grave where the kidnapped victims were buried. So we think it's better to follow that sequence. Let us confirm that it's actually a shallow grave where the victims are buried.
Family members, while narrating how they lost their loved ones to the kidnappers, commended the police for their effort, but quick to demand for justice.
I come to Jebugbo. I started to do farm work.
What level, how did you kidnap the man?
So it's my friend. So now he lead me to him. And already tell me, say, we want to kidnap. He say, make I leave the work where they do the work, no pay me. Say, make I leave and say, make we go rob. So after we go for the back of Abusi, that is my first time to go there. Where you carry the person, go bush. when we begin to do the video. So as they kill the person, the thing come enter my body. That is why I no follow come for this Baba role.
My role is that I should follow them to somewhere to rob. So when we went there, we kidnapped the man. After that, they lead the man inside the bush. So they will collected money from his family. So after then I say if they delay not to pay the money, they will kill the man. So after then, we wait till 4 o'clock in the morning. So they took Baba, me with them, took Baba to forest of Agbodu, there, waiting for money. So we don't see the money. So after that, they are now gunshot for the Baba. That is
disease. His name is Ade Kunle Sunday Ifelaja. His mother happens to be the junior sister of my mom, of my dad. My father's name is Oyetunji Oyenuga, the first son of Dada Oyenuga. We gathered together, we sponsored, we pay ransomed in millions. I think the last one I had, was close to 7 million, over 7 million, and some even paid us after that. We are talking of something close to 10 million, if not over.
When I met the first, I will first say, let me first thank the Ogun State governor. The matter was reported to him. Within 15 minutes, he got in touch with the commissioner. And the commissioner called my grandson, Segun Ifelaja, and gave him the number of the OC to follow.
Information about the rest, that will not be captured in this discourse. We continue with that, but for now, the important thing is that they have admitted to the commissioning of the offense, and for now, too, the cohorts are on the run. All necessary procedure is being in place to ensure that we apprehend the remaining members of the gang, and we do this charge to court. That's it.
Your reiteration to state residents.
The Commissioner of Police, who assured residents of adequate protection of life and property, however assured that the 3 members of the kidnap gang will be brought to book to face justice. This was coming barely 2 weeks after 3 suspected kidnappers who kidnapped travelers along Shagamu-Ilisho Expressway were neutralized by men of the command. And still on security matters, Lagos State Police Command has arrested a random police officer simply identified as Supul Owolabi, attached to Ogodo Area Command, for allegedly forcefully having carnal knowledge of a teenage girl in his office. The Commissioner of Police, CP Adegoke Fayade, who confirmed the arrest, said the action of the senior police officer runs foul of ethical standard, assuring that justice will be served. He said the investigation had already commenced with a view to ascertaining the officer's culpability, adding that the officer involved in the act of rape of a 17-year-old girl has been arrested and have directed a full-scale and thorough investigation into the allegation. He assured the general public that there is absolutely no attempt to cover up such hideous acts in adherence with the Code of Conduct and Professional Ethics of the Nigerian Police Force. If found culpable, the officer will be dealt with in accordance with police regulations and the law. The Nigeria Customs Service Federal Operating Unit Zone B is said to announce the tragic demise of Inspector of Customs Hamza Abdullahi Elengbo in an unfortunate incident that occurred on Friday, 12 July 2024 at Achilafia along Daura Kano Road in Jigawa State during a stop and search operation. The incident occurred when a vehicle suspected to be smuggled into the country hit the operative while trying to evade arrest. The late operative was rushed to the General Hospital, Kazari, and later transferred to Federal Medical Center, Katsina, where he was pronounced dead by the doctor on duty. The deceased has been later arrested in Katsina, according to Islamic Rights. Inspector Amza Nindajin of Port Harcourt, Rivers State, was born on 15 April 1985. He joined the Nigeria Customs Service as Custom Assistant Third in the Transport and Logistic Unit on 7 October 2013 and was promoted to the rank of Inspector of Customs in year 2022. He is survived by a wife and 2 children. The head of Federal Operations Unit Zone B, Controller Adamu Shaibu, on behalf of the entire officers and men of the unit, extend heartfelt condolences to the deceased family and pray for his eternal rest. You're still on to the news on Galaxy Television. Coming up next. Authorities of Nigeria Customs Service Oguwan Area Command intercept 7,015 bags of foreign rice and 44,466 liters of petrol. Details of that and more are coming after the break. Please stay with us. We are glad to have you back. Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. You can also avail our eyewitness feature for your WhatsApp. If you have breaking news around you, simply share your story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 0818-666-669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments. And to the story teased earlier, operatives of the Nigeria Customs Service NCS Ogun Area Command have intercepted 7,015 bags of foreign rice and 44,466 liters of petrol. This was disclosed by the command's area controller, James Uju, at a press briefing on the command's accomplishment held in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Correspondent John Felix reports.
Giving a breakdown, the comptroller said the contrabands include 219 sacks and 1,725 parcels of cannabis sativa, 940 rounds of live ammunition, 44,466 liters of PMS, amongst others. The seizures, according to him, represent the command's unrelenting battle against smuggling and its resolve to safeguard the integrity of the borders, the local economy, and public health and safety.
In addition to our revenue generation sources, our enforcement activities have led to significant interception of prohibited goods. In recent operations, we successfully intercepted 219 sacks and 1,725 parcels of cannabis sativa, 940 rounds of live ammunition, 44,466 liters of premium motor spirit, 2,227 pieces of pneumatic foreign use tires, and 64 bays and 22 sacks of used cloths. Other interceptions include 2,947 cartons of frozen poultry products, 7,015 bags of foreign parboiled rice, 21 units of vehicle, 3 units of motorcycle, and 115 pairs of used shoes, with a duty pay value of 770,666,237 naira.
The comptroller, however, lamented that these interceptions also underscore the importance of continuous vigilance, collaboration, and the need for a united front in the fight against smuggling and other economic crimes.
These figures are not just numbers, they represent our relentless fight against smuggling and our determination to protect the local economy, ensure public health and safety, and uphold the integrity of our borders. Recall that during my maiden press briefing held on 9th May 2024, I highlighted the adverse effect of smuggled cannabis sativa and foreign use pneumatic tires on the citizenry, and these include the following. Cannabis sativa, commonly known as marijuana or Indian hemp, is a psychoactive drug derived from the cannabis plant. It has a devastating effect on the lives of its consumers, especially our youth. The rise in its abuse is of great concern within Nigerian society and a threat to our national security due to its potential influence on criminal activities such as armed robbery, banditry, courtesan, kidnapping, terrorism, and other criminal activities.
The CAC explained that the seized contraband could have catastrophic effects on people and cause damage on the economy. From Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, John Felix reporting for Galaxy Television News.
And now to other stories. The International Federation of Women Lawyers, Ekiti State Chapter, has urged the women in Nigeria to be more proactive by not being marginalized in decision-taking in Nigeria. Speaking at the end of the annual Law Week, the chairperson of the International Federation of Women Lawyers, Barrister Onyade Olatunbosun, said Ekiti is a safe space and zero tolerance for any forms against gender-based violence. She also used the medium to commend the Supreme Court of Nigeria over judgment giving financial autonomy to the local government in Nigeria and appealed to state governors to obey the court order. Others who spoke to newsmen shared their different opinions on the financial autonomy given to the local government.
Like I always tell people, we are not competing. All we are asking is give us our space so that we can also contribute to the development of Nigeria. Supreme Court is the final court in Nigeria. And of course, except it wants to set aside its own judgment, which I don't see it in this case.
It's one thing for us to make laws. It's one thing for the Supreme Court to pronounce their judgment. It's another thing for this judgment and these laws to be enforceable. As a lawmaker, I am skeptical about the enforceability of this judgment. I am very, very skeptical.
The judgment is very timely. I believe that it's going to really improve people at the local level. And I also think that people will start holding their chairmen accountable at that level. So I believe it's going to drive our democracy forward.
Now to health-related matters, stakeholders are encouraging Nigerian pharmacists to do more research that will launch the country's brand into the global world. Some of the speakers at this year's Pharmacy Week in Ogun State noted that 70% of drugs used in Nigeria are imported. They stated that the current narrative in the country once happened in other countries like China and Korea, where they look inwards and develop their local capacity. A medical practitioner who is now a community leader of a professor added that manufacturing is universal. In view of the theme of the event, capacity building and professional development, strengthening the pharmacy workforce for universal health coverage in Nigeria, Chairman of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, Ogun State Chapter, Adewale Adengba, noted that pharmacists must ensure that patients receive safe, effective and quality medications. Thereby, continuous learning and adaptation to new knowledge is pivotal.
What Nigerians should do is, switch from the mentality of just depending on what other people have cooked or made as drugs. Start doing your own indigenous research. When I say indigenous research, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can take what has existed elsewhere, modify it with Nigerian content, and then create a product suitable for Nigerians. We have about 240 million people in Nigeria. And I can tell you, most of the drugs we import to Nigeria do not work for Nigerians. because they were developed in other countries.
The government has done what the government should do. The policies are in place. The mandate is out there. It is now for the professionals to rise up to the occasion, to provide the pharmaceutical services that they have been trained to provide, and in cases where more is demanded of them, to seek out the necessary trainings that they may be able to deliver on those mandates.
Universal health coverage is a global priority, and Nigeria is no exception. The goal of universal health coverage is to ensure that all individuals and communities receive the health services they need without suffering financial hardship.
Youth in Imo State, Southeast Nigeria have been clamoring for better opportunities and a more inclusive government given the present economic situation. According to some of the youth who spoke to our correspondent, the present condition of youth in the state is not palatable, adding that there is urgent need to salvage the situation.
Have been given the necessary support, especially from the government, because from the look of things, you do not need to be told if you're from Imo or you're schooling here in Imo State.
Actually not happy with the situation of our country. There's a lot of unemployment. Youths are graduating from school. Help them to actually have employment. They're not actually being employed. Government should provide more employment opportunities, create more jobs, and also they can also offer loan.
The youth can succeed in the good enabling environment, whereby the governor and distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma, he has brought us a commissioner for youth development, which the young guy, Dr. Mandela, he has put everything in order to make sure the youth are doing what they're supposed to do in the.
On the part of Imo State Government, the Commissioner for Youth Development, Dr. Mandela Ukegbo, said the new ministry is expected to oversee initiatives and programs aimed at enhancing youth empowerment.
We're going to fold our arms as a ministry to just sit down here. We're going to reach out to as much as possible multinational companies, government agencies across Nigeria and see how we can push in our qualified youth graduates into such offices. And for the youth in the informal sector outside the school setting,
the movement for the survival of Ogoni people have slammed the managing director of the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC), Dr. Sam Ubuku, for excluding Ogoni people from the just concluded Niger Delta Summit in Port Harcourt, the River State capital. The group described the actions of the Commission as an injustice to the people of Ogoni land. Addressing newsmen in Port Harcourt, spokesperson of Mosop Imiabe Oscar said the comment credited to the managing director of NDDC at the Niger Delta Summit that they were not invited because Ogonis have denied the federal government access to untapped crude in the community as business.
Statement to say the list is an affront to the sensibility of Mosop and the Ogoni nation. And the NDDC boss should be conscience-stricken. This is more like killing the goose that laid the golden eggs, because for over decades, that the federal government through Shell have exploited us. Ogoni land has been ecologically devastated.
And I want to use the opportunity to call on whosoever that is in charge of the affairs of NDDC to, as a matter of urgency, seek redress to attending to the challenges of the Ogoni people. Because if that is not done, then movement for the survival of Ogoni people, the apex and the first socio-cultural group in Niger Delta that advocated for the development of Niger Delta, has a critical role to play in Niger Delta.
The family of Oyele Soyinka has expressed appreciation to the people of Igbaland and across the world for the celebration of their father in an unusual way. His son Olokun Soyinka made this known at the sidelines of the special cultural performance held in his honor in Abeokuta. Egba people converged on the Cultural Center Kuto Abeokuta to celebrate the literary icon Wole Soyinka. Just like the coat of many colors, his interest in hunting, culture and tradition, human rights and social justice, literature, among others, were projected by different groups in attendance. Dialake and paramount ruler of Egbaland said Egba is synonymous with greatness and encouraged parents to invest and support the education of their children.
If somebody was given to us by God 90 years ago, and he has come, and he has made his mark, and he has made a statement, and he has sincerely delivered not only Nigeria, not only Africa, not only the world. So you can if somebody, the first Nobel laureate in Africa, happens to come and be born in Ake in Egbaland, is it not worth celebrating? And those are the tenets. And if you look at his life, you will see that he has not given to a flamboyant life.
Wole Soyinka's parents had suppressed him when he was young and was going after those spirits. He would never have had the imagination to be as productive as he has been. And we must encourage our children to shun any injustice. Anything that is not going to be fair to all, they must shun it.
He sent his apologies, and he also sent me to come and I know people would love to have had him, but I'm here to deliver his apologies. As a family, we are so honored. We knew this was going to be a very busy and exciting time, but really we could not have predicted how he has been celebrated across the world. In every city in Nigeria, in every state in Nigeria, and across the various continents of the globe, all sorts of events are happening. So I think what people need to do is forget about having him around.
Many students, many mentees. Yes. How many people have you been able to mentor in your life? So he's just a man of many parts. And that's why you see the whole of Egba, doing our own bit here. So once again, I congratulate him and I wish him many more years on this planet and success in this world and in the hereafter. Thank you.
Speaking on behalf of the family, Wole Soyinka's son expressed appreciation to the people of Egbaland, Nigeria and outside the country for the celebration of his father. For members of the National Association of Sea Dogs, Architects Montana Dak, celebrating the 90th birthday of the only surviving member of the Magnificent Seven, despite different struggles, depict Wole Soyinka as a cat with more than 90 lives. The Kaduna State Council of Nigerian Union of Journalists has announced the release by terrorists of two kidnapped journalists, Abdul Ghaffar of local daily and Abdurrahim Aldu of another local daily, and their families. The journalists and their family members were abducted in their separate homes in the Dan-Ono community near Millennium City, Kaduna. However, one of the wives was abandoned by the terrorists in the bush due to her illness, and she was able to return home on Sunday morning. Lagos State Task Force has forestalled an outbreak of epidemic in the Ekpa area of the state, where dozens of cartons filled with contaminated turkey seized by the Nigerian Customs Service and set ablaze at a dump site somehow found its way into the hands of unscrupulous elements trying to sell it to members of the public. Following tip-off from members of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Honorable Rashid Shabi and the Oluja of Ekpe, Oba Kamaruddin, the officials of the Lagos State Task Force swung into action and raided the shanties close to the dump site and apprehended 8 suspects with some of the contaminated turkey and some harmful weapons. Speaking on the incident, Oba Kamaruddin commended the Lagos State Task Force on the swift response to the incident, which, if left unchecked, could result in nationwide epidemic. The Oloja further admonished the Nigerian Customs Service to seek the support of sister agencies like the police, military, DSS and LOMA when carrying out exhibit burning exercise to avoid official compromise and ensure the confiscated goods are thoroughly burnt beyond recovery by miscreants in the community. The chairman of the agency, CSP Adetayo Akerele, who led the operation, said that the goods confiscated by the Nigerian Customs Service must have failed at some point to meet the required health and safety standards before being deemed unfit for human consumption, which led to it being set ablaze at a dedicated dump site. Patrick Akpan has been living with HIV for over 20 years. During that time, his lack of knowledge about the disease led him to plan his own funeral in 2005. Yet, 2 decades later, Akpan remains fit, agile and healthy. He sits with correspondent John Felix to share his story. Take a listen.
In 2004, Patrick Akpan tested positive for HIV. He describes the early stage as difficult as he progressed from HIV to developing full-blown AIDS. However, Akpan credits the use of antiretroviral drugs for helping him recover from the AIDS diagnosis and revert back to only having HIV. Despite preparing for his own funeral in 2005, Akpan now shares the story to convey that an HIV diagnosis is not an automatic death sentence.
I tested HIV positive in 2004. And so exactly it's 20 years now. I've been living with HIV the past 20 years. Then I lacked knowledge. When I tested positive, I thought I'm going to die. So, and I was working in a very reputable organization, and I was in fact a fleet manager, so I had a lot of vehicles under my care. So I had to discuss that, if I die, I told a particular driver, you need to take me home, you need to take my corpse home immediately as soon as I die. He said, sir, why are you talking like this? I said, yes, because I'm not feeling well and I think I could die anytime from now. So I told him the kind of casket that I need to be buried with and all that. I told him that I have some money. I told him who he should talk to if I die. Eventually I called the person. I also informed the person, is my cousin. I told him that, come, the situation is getting bad. Now I disclosed my status to my cousin. I told him, but the driver, I did not disclose the status. But for my cousin, I told him, this is what you do. I have a fiancée who is not positive, and so that I know some culture if something happened, because she was already close to me. They know my fiancé. My fiancée. I said, come, so that they will not say that she's the one that kill me or something or molest her. So I want to inform you that I am HIV positive. That is to my cousin now, so that that lady will be free from being intimidated or attacked by my family people. Eventually, that my fiancée is still is my wife now. She is now my wife, and she's still here with me. She has been there with me for the last 20 years, and my first son is 17 years now, and I have other children as well. So I really prepared. I told that my cousin how the burial should look like, and even I told him then I had a land somewhere that I should be buried on that land. So and all that, those were something I had already prepared. But see me, 20 years after, I'm still alive, and I'm not even thinking I'm going, except that is the divine, that is how God wants it. I don't think, if I die today, I don't think it's HIV or AIDS.
Akpan claims the drugs he uses provide protection, given the national HIV prevalence rate of 1.3% among 15 to 49 years old and 1.4% among 15 to 64 years old. It believes that if influential people living with HIV openly share their stories, it would improve the situation in Nigeria.
For me, if I know that there may be some leaders in this country that are HIV positive, but they are hiding. But if they can come out and tell the world that they are HIV positive and they are living a normal life, it means people will be saying, if somebody like so person who is a prominent Nigerian is living, he can live positively with HIV, then I too can live. So that is very, very important, that people, especially the prominent people, because if somebody who is very poor come out to be, they will say, he's a poor man because she's poor. Nobody will listen. So, but I think the kind of people I expect to come out and share their experience are people who are prominent, and I know that we have them, but nobody, is against the rule that you disclose people's status. It's not right. So nobody can ever say so person is HIV positive. It's against the law.
Dr. Yewande Olaifa is the head of the Gender and Human Rights Division at the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA. She states that the agency is working to change societal misconceptions about HIV, noting that Nigeria's HIV response is predominantly funded by international donors, emphasizing that ongoing efforts aim to ensure the country takes greater ownership of its responsibilities in this area.
We're not doing very well, to be honest. The response is largely funded by donor partners in the country. One of the things we're trying to do, which is something we will discuss further, is to first even get our government structures to begin to take the responsibilities that donor partners are doing, so that you understand what they are doing, and then ask yourself, at the scale in which they're doing it, is it something that is sustainable? Are there better ways that we can do it without losing the quality of interventions that we're providing to people? And then make those modifications that fits into our own structures.
Given that over 2 million Nigerians are currently living with HIV, it is crucial that everyone gets tested and know their HIV status as soon as possible. From Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, John Felix reporting for Galaxy Television News.
Now it's time to the reminder of news that made headlines during the week. Tracking the Week is up next.
Hello and welcome to Tracking the Week. Fresh queues for premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, resurfaced in Abuja, Lagos and other parts of the country on Monday. Motorists were seen struggling to purchase petrol. In Lagos, a growing number of private and commercial drivers were seen lined up for hours with uncertainty over supply as some stations ran out of fuel intermittently. The Major Energy Marketers Association of Nigeria, MEMAN, advised Nigerians not to engage in panic buying as the scarcity of the product was due to adverse weather and thunderstorm that delayed ship-to-ship transloading, berthing at jetties, truck loadout and transportation of product to filling stations, thereby disrupting station supply logistics. Meanwhile, motorists expressed frustration over the situation, highlighting the challenges they face in accessing fuel for their vehicles. In some states, prices of fuel surged, ranging between 800 naira and 900 naira per litre, significantly higher than the official pump price, which caused fluctuations in the transport fares, with some transporters hiking the fares by around 20 to 30%. On Tuesday, residents of Etegwe community in Yenagwa local government area of Bayelsa State appealed to the state government and relevant stakeholders to come to their aid as heavy downpour had led to flooding which made residents relocate. The flooding, which prevented school children from attending schools in the community, is said to have damaged their personal belongings. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency (NIMET) had predicted flooding in over 30 states of the Federation, with Bayelsa State inclusive. Hence, the sacking of residents in the Yenagwa community by the increase in water level made residents to relocate for their safety and that of their family members. The community paramount ruler and a victim lamented over the devastating effect and the need for urgent intervention. The Bielsa government had last month warned residents in flood-prone areas to relocate to higher ground, while victims also complained of lack of provision of palliative in preparation for flooding. On Wednesday, the newly sworn-in judges of the Appeal Court and the Federal High Court was being advised to uphold the ethics of the profession at all times for peace and unity in Nigeria. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, gave the admonition during the inauguration of the judges of the Supreme Court. The twin event, which according to the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode, was unprecedented in the annals of the judiciary in Nigeria, took place at the Supreme Court. In the first event, 22 judges of the Federal High Court, including the wife of the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, were inaugurated by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, with notable Nigerians in attendance. In a related development, 12 judges of the Federal Capital Territory were equally inaugurated by the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Justice Olukayode Ariwola, addressing the judges at the separate event, Justice Ariwola maintained that he tasked the judges to see the appointment as an opportunity to contribute to the quarter to the course of justice in the country through quick dispensation of justice. Justice Ariwola charged the new justices to be upright in their justice delivery to Nigerians without fear or favor. On Thursday, the federal government had, through the Attorney General and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi-San, dragged the 36 state governors to the Supreme Court for withholding allocation meant for local government councils in the lead judgment delivered by Justice Emmanuel Agim. The Federation account was ordered to henceforth pay directly all money standing in the credit of local government in the country. The governors were also barred from henceforth disalign democratically elected officials for local government, and that doing so would amount to a breach of the 1999 Constitution. The Apex Court maintained that the state governors have, for over the years, used the privilege conferred to them by the Federal Republic of Nigeria, expressly declared that allocation shall be shared and distributed among the 3 tiers of government. On Friday, many students were trapped in a school which collapsed in Busa Buji community of Jos North local government area of Plateau State. According to witnesses, the building housing Staines Academy caved in around 11 a.m. on Friday, leaving students who were writing exams trapped. Rescue operations were ongoing by security personnel, including soldiers and police, who had arrived at the scene of the unfortunate incident. At least 16 children were killed on Friday when the school in central Nigeria collapsed on pupils taking exams. Trapped Plateau State fell on classrooms. Mechanical diggers tried to rescue the victims while parents desperately looked for their children. And as we have on Tracking the Week.
Now we bring you news from the foreign scene. This is news from the international scene. Presidents and prime ministers across the world have expressed their support for former United States President Donald Trump and spoken out against political violence following an assassination attempt against the Republican candidate at a campaign rally in after shaping a new alliance in the country's parliament. A statement by the Office of the President said the 72-year-old Oli will take his oath of office on Monday, the fourth time he is becoming the Prime Minister. He is replacing Pushpa Kamal Dahal, whose 18-month-old government collapsed on Friday after Oli's party, the Communist Party of Nepal United Marxist-Leninists, agreed to a new coalition with the centre-left Nepali Congress Party. Oli will now have to succeed where his predecessor failed earlier this week, securing a vote of confidence in Parliament to continue in office within a month. The two parties have more than half the members in Parliament required for a majority vote. Under the new power-sharing arrangement, Oli and the Nepali Congress Party's president, Sheikh Bahadur Duba, 78, will rotate in holding the Prime Minister's post until the next general election in 2027. Lastly, on the international scene, Venice has wrapped up its pilot program of charging €5 entrance fee for trippers arriving on particularly congested days after opponents called the experiment a failure. Authorities in the famed Italian destination, also UNESCO World Heritage Site in April, introduced an entrance levy, hoping it to deter some people from visiting. The system was designed to manage the flows of tourists when visitor numbers are at their peak. But on Saturday, several dozen activists gathered outside the Santa Lucia train station overlooking a teeming canal to protest the entrance fee, saying that it did little to dissuade visitors from arriving on peak days as envisioned. Over the first 11 days of the trial period, an average of 75,000 visitors were recorded in the city. Martini said that was 10,000 more each day than on 3 indicative holidays in 2023, citing figures provided by the city based on cell phone data that tracks arrival in the city. Simone Venturini, the city councillor responsible for tourism and social cohesion, said the initial assessment of the program was positive and confirmed the system would be renewed in 2025, but acknowledged that there were still large crowds. And that's it from the international scene. And that is all we have for you. We thank you so much for watching. My name is Ireba Salako. Do have a